Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. Get on in here, y'all. Get on in here. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. You are now in the den. So, guys, of course, we are gathered here today. We are coming back and coming through for another episode of Love After Lockup. Sex, lies, and prison wives, y'all, okay? And of course, we are going to get messed because what is Love After Lockup without a hot daggone mess for us to see, all right? We have these inmates getting out. They are free now. You know, some of them are on their way to pick their other significant others up. Some of them already have them. Some of us have gotten married. You know, Monique is over here trying to go pick up her boo thing, and she just basically ends up clashing with his family, all right? His sisters is not pretty because, of course, she did not want them to come there to pick him up and meet, you know, up with her at the same time. She wanted to be able to see him first. Then we got, you know, Ashley and Travis out here having their romantic, you know, rendezvous. We got Skylar getting ready to get out, and her family is concerned with her, you know, and how she's going to be able to make it when she's out, and his family being concerned with them being together. And they're not wrong, to be honest. Their concerns are valid because we are talking about two people who both have a history of being locked up and both have a history of drug abuse. So we will see how they will do. You know, Justine and Michael are doing good. We over here with matching pajamas, matching outfits, having a funky good time. We going to meet the family. We shedding all these tears. But then Justine gets pissed off because Michael over here inviting you know what I'm saying, wanted guests that she don't want there. So, you know, is this going to be a big issue for them? And of course, last but not least, Gabby and Chris, honey, is on the hunt for somewhere to go ahead and get it in. And when she goes and drops this bombshell on her mama is just like, are you dumb? Girl, are you dumb? Like, is your head full with rocks? Have you lost your mind? But I gotta say to Gabby's mama, is it really that she lost her mind? Did she have her mind there in the first place? Okay, let's talk about it. Let's go ahead and get into this episode. Take it from the top. Get all into it, y'all. Y'all know how we do, all right? And start from the beginning. So, of course, we started with Gabby and Chris. And at this point, we are picking up right where we left off. They just finished this wedding. They walking over to the car. They like, well, where are they? And why didn't they come over? You know, she getting in the car and she's like looking, saying, you know, oh yeah, they there, they in the car. So in the meantime, when they get in, you know, Chris is like, you know, we just got married, right? And then the sister's like, oh, really? You could see the shock on her face, mama giving her eyes and everything like that. And she's like, well, why you didn't say nothing to us? We could have been witnesses. And it's like, girl, y'all could have walked over there to them instead of going and sitting in that damn car and starting to eat, all right? Let's not play games. And not only that, Gabby didn't want them to be witnesses anyway. She was trying to be slick and let this, you know, wedding hurry up and happen so that nobody would be able to stop it and so that he could be released to her once he come out the halfway house. That was her plan from the beginning. And so, you know, he's basically saying how he wants them both to be able to get along. You know, he don't want no more of the arguing. He done been in the box. He done got stressed out and having these panic attacks and getting anxiety now. And so he wants to be surrounded by as much peace as he possibly can. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of Gabby's either, honey, okay? Gabby got a lot of mess with her. But I just feel like his mother and sister actually match her energy. I feel like they both give the same energy back and forth. And again, I'm shocked that this couple is even on this show at all, especially if you know all the history that went down with them. I would have thought they would have just X'd them from out of these episodes, period. But of course, here we are. They didn't, you know. And so moving on and taking it for what it is. You know, mama over here cutting eyes and she's just like, this ain't gonna last and it's gonna be a hot mess anyway. And the sister was saying, well, don't put all the blame on us and act as if, you know, we the ones that be making Gabby feel a certain way and doing things to her. Like, we've left it all behind. And he was saying, why y'all sounding salty? Y'all acting real salty. Y'all should be excited for me. Y'all should be happy. This is my day. I'm just out of jail. And y'all acting real crazy. And then they saying, no, we not acting crazy. You know, we have basically been trying to get along. And the mama was saying that, you know, she's not even feeding into none of this stuff no more. It basically is what it is. And of course, he is letting them also know that he would be going to stay with her once he get out because, you know, this is his wife now. So he would be able to go and stay with her because I'm assuming that they originally thought he was going to be going to stay with them. All right. And so They're saying there's no issues at all. There's no hard feelings. Gabby over here giving her fake smile or whatever the case may be, feeling like she won some damn prize by them, hurrying up and getting married on the sly. And so, they was asking him how he gonna do things when he get out. And he said, yeah, once he gets out, he will be getting paroled to Jersey. And the mother just looking at the sister, shaking her head, okay? And so he says that he doesn't want to go back into the neighborhood where he was getting into trouble at. He don't want to be around the same crowd. That actually does make sense. He's saying the world is moving so fast and he's ready to live now. And the police know who he is. So he also feels like he would be a target and they would be messing with him. And it just would be easier situation for him to get into trouble. So now when they dropped him off, they're just like giving him hugs and stuff like that. And they're like, all right, Gabby. And she's like, see you later, And they say they didn't get a chance to spend time with him. Like now, because they stopped and did that wedding, the food that they wanted to go and eat and have with him is done, all of that is done. Now he got to get dropped off. He got like 20-30 minutes before he have to be at the facility. So, the halfway house. So they saying they want to go get it in, honey. All right. He like, all I'm thinking about right now is getting up in there. Where can we go? I want some ass. All right. Where can we go where I can get me 2 pumps? All I need is 2 pumps. All right. That's all I need. I said, child. Okay, Chris. So she driving all around. Now she tells him, I'm basically like a virgin now. I went to the doctor, the same one that do the fillings, and I went and got my vagina tightened. Now, I don't know if you want to tell him that because that kind of made him go, what? I ain't never heard no shit like that. They want to talk about how she bleached her behind too. And he's just like, of course, saying again how he gave this money, all right, from when he got beat up and won his lawsuit and all that. 60,000 went to her. The other part went to his family. None of the money is left. And if he would have known she was going to be spending the money on things like that, he probably would have second guessed and not left her with this damn money in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, the fact that you even go on to do something like that, why? Why did you need that? Why was that so important to even spend money on that in the first place? And he's saying that threw him off. So he basically was like, of course you're going to have your thoughts when you locked up, because once that phone is shut down, you can't call that person again till that next morning. They there by themselves at night. You know what I'm saying? Anything could be going on. So, of course, he is second guessing whether he can actually trust her, whether she's actually been being faithful to him. And all of that comes into the thoughts. Okay. And at the same time, Gabby is saying, supposedly, I think she said it's been 4 years for her and something for him. I'm not too sure, somewhere around there, honey. But she does say she have secrets. So I'm like, what's the secrets, Gabby? Okay, inquiring minds want to know. And she's like, it's been easy kind of hiding it from him while he's been locked up. But of course, with him being home and once he comes out the halfway house and he's there, it's going to be a lot harder. So again, girl, we want to know what the secrets is. Now, in the meantime, they go ahead and they driving around. And I hear her say something about, can they go in the bathroom? So I don't know where the final point was that they chose. Was we outside, child, in the park somewhere? Was we going to jump in some type of bathroom in the park? I don't know what was happening. But they jump out this daggone car. And then it tells us that it's 10 minutes later. And when they get back in, she talking about her thing hurt. All right. So obviously he must have put it down whichever way he needed to. And then she go ahead and she's dropping him at the halfway house or whatever. And of course giving him a kiss. And he's saying how, he gonna go ahead and call her whatever. And, they part their ways. So now she go see her mama, right? And mama's busy working. And I agree with mama, honey. Why you coming to my job to tell me some damn nonsense? Because here she come walking up, and the minute she say Chris' name, her mother is like, okay, we still doing this. We still talking about Chris. And, I don't know if that was her boss or just a co-worker, but the person that was standing there with her was like, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all talk. And so she's like, what is it that you want to tell me? Oh, well, he's going to be coming home and he's going to be staying with me at the house. Why? Because we got married. Are you dumb? Are you crazy? Why would you do that? Are you insane? Have you lost your mind? And like I said, girl, is it really that she lost it or that she never had it? Because this your child. I'm sure you know her. But she says this is the most insane relationship that Gabby ever had. She's dated cops before. She supposedly, according to mama, dated professional ball players. I said, girl, who? Drop some names. Who Gabby was out here dating that was a professional ball player, all right? But anyway, she basically was like she could do so much better. She don't understand it. She don't get it at all. And in the process of Gabby pulling out this paperwork, she also, I'm sorry, in the process of her telling her about this, she also pulls out this paperwork and she's like, what is it? And she's like, look at it. And when the mama looks at that, she's like, yeah, you got a lot of stuff to fix, a lot of stuff you need to handle, a lot of stuff you need to deal with. We don't know what this paperwork is, but she basically tells her she got to go to court. So what the heck do y'all think Gabby's daggone secret is going to be, honey? We shall see. Moving on from that, we basically go back to Monique and her waiting out here on Derek. And of course, we pick up right where we left off. We had this car that was driving back and forth. We assumed that it was his sisters, that was coming there. But of course, Monique at first was like, if this is some kind of girl that's coming here to get him, it's going to be problems, right? But we are right. It is his sisters, and it's like some nephews or whatever, one that he never even got a chance to meet because I guess he was in jail, before he was even born. And so, of course, she's annoyed because she was like, this was supposed to be just about us. They wasn't supposed to be coming. They were supposed to be meeting them at the salon at a later time. It's mad awkward. Nobody really don't know nobody. We looking and staring at each other. And so her sister takes the initiative to go over to them and, basically fill it out and see how things is going and what we talking about and how we coming, Oh, well, does Derek know that y'all gonna be here? Well, no, he actually was saying that he didn't want us to come, but we was like, we gonna come anyway. We wanted to be here for him. That's our brother. I'm looking at it from the other way around. I would want my brother to come and be there for me. I would want to see some of my family when I come out. So basically, they was going to do what they wanted to do, whether Derek was telling them to do it or not. Okay. Now, Derek ain't fully tell them, her feelings on it, or they didn't fully care about her feelings on it. And Derek also did not, really communicate with them the opposite way either. And when they're seeing her, they're saying how this is not his type. This is not how he, who he would usually go for. So they can't see this being serious and what he would want with her. And they got to see how he is going to be, interacting with her. And so the next thing Monique actually walks over too, right? Because I guess she didn't just want to leave her sister there having a conversation with them by herself. And she's trying to clarify to them, what she wanted. And basically, they was getting nasty. They was being disrespectful. They started taking shots at her weight. And I'm like, y'all not that far, behind her weight, to be honest. All y'all got to do is just eat a little bit more. I don't know why we, going into weight. And not only that, in my opinion, his sister really crossed the line because, we arguing back and forth or whatever on who he said was supposed to be there and who wasn't and who knew who was coming and all of this, and how she was trying to take over and manipulate him and, throw things in his face and I guess kind of blackmail him and threaten him in order for his family not to come. And to a certain degree, I agree with that, because if we remember how Monique was talking in the last episode, it was like, oh, well, I'm the one that's buying this and doing that, and so therefore I'm going to be controlling what's happening on the phone. We over here talking about putting cameras in grandma's house and saying, who could see him when and all of that. And I was already saying that's going to be a problem, girl. That is going to be a problem, all right? And so, of course, when he's locked up, he's going to be saying one thing, but when he get out, it's going to be a different story. And if he finds out that you're doing all these different things, whether he's locked up or not, that's going to basically end up pushing him away. So to a certain degree, the sisters are spot on with what they're saying, but they also was out of pocket as well, coming really hard and nasty right off the back. When you don't know me from a hole in the wall, I don't know you from a hole in the wall. And obviously didn't want to meet you in this way in the first daggone place, And so basically when they went and got back in the car and just tried to walk away from it because, like I said, her sister stepped over. Oh, I have a quick question. Did he know y'all was coming? Was this all set up from the beginning or whatever the case may be? We thought it was going to be this way. We already had this established and all of that. And when they started going back and forth with Monique and not really wanting to hear what she had to say in reference to why she wanted to do it the way that she wanted to do it, her and Cassandra, I believe her sister name is, went and sat back in the car. No, they didn't even sit back in the car. My bad. They went and just walked next to the car. But then Cassandra, honey, was working fast and had already seen online I guess on social media, whether it was Instagram or whatever, that one of the sisters went and posted a picture of her, like took her a picture of her as she's standing, by the car and gonna put on it, wow, he been locked up all this time, and then this is what he's coming out to, and something along the lines of like, it makes me want to throw up. And that was disgusting, okay? Like, I could have been with y'all having an attitude and saying I want to be there and see my brother, whatever, but to me, you crossed the line once you put that picture up. You really did. And I said, Monique is better than me, because she was like, that's it, I'm done, it's over with. And I guess she wanted to take a breather and she wanted to drive away for a minute. And they probably thought that, she was leaving for good. The sister gonna start laughing and be like, oh, she must have seen the picture that I put up. And, the other sister was like, what picture? And I'm sure she probably showed her and laughed about it. And she was even saying like, oh, well, when Derek come out, he gonna be upset or he gonna be mad about it. So why would you even post something like that up there? Okay, that just to me wasn't no need for that. That was real childish. So they leave for a minute, but they do come back. And by the time they get back, Derek is actually, walking out or whatever. And he walks towards them. And because before this, they was like, already throwing shots and yelling and screaming back. It was a very nasty meeting, okay? I wouldn't want to be around them no more after that either. However, she did make a comment like, oh yeah, I'm going to be keeping him away from his sisters. And I'm like, nah, you can't. At the end of the day, if that's his family, if he want to go around them, he going to go around them. But you can protect your peace and make sure you stay away from them. So nonetheless, when they do come back and he walks over, he actually seems anyway, okay, genuinely happy to see her, right? He wasn't expecting her to be as big as she was. And Derek, I wasn't expecting you to be that short, honey, okay? Derek is a little shorty. Not only is he a smaller figure, but he is shorter than her. But he was saying that she still was beautiful. She looked like her pictures or whatever. And he was like, I'm not mad at it, okay? I got a BBW. He was like, I could roll with it. I like it or whatever the case may be. And they go head over, of course, to this salon. And as they're riding to go to the salon, kissy, 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 poo and all of that. I love you. But she is telling him like, the whole situation with your sisters got me upset. I didn't like that. I didn't like how they came at me and all of that. So then when they get in the salon, the lady was like, well, damn, you brought the whole family with you to get your hair done or whatever the case may be. And, he's telling them, y'all go ahead, talk, get to know each other. He had introduced everybody to everybody because before they got in the car, she was like, you not going to go and say hi to your family. So he hugged all of them. He got to meet his new little nephew. And he was letting them know, like, this is my woman. And he said that his family is going to have to respect her. And so while they're at the salon, he's like, y'all get to know each other. Y'all have conversations and talk. And at first they sit in there, it's just a real, awkward silence type of thing. And, again, Cassandra's the one to speak up and be like, dag, it's so awkward. Nobody is saying nothing. And they was like, well, yeah, the way this whole thing started or whatever the case may be and the way you came out. And she's like, no, I didn't come out no kind of way. I just felt like that was going to be too much for me to be meeting y'all for the first time and meeting him for the first time, too. I feel like y'all took what I was saying and what I was trying to do in another way than what I meant it. And, of course, the same sister that posted the damn, picture on Instagram is talking about, oh, you basically, wanted to be sneaky and wanted to be selfish. And she's like, no, I didn't want to do that at all. I just wanted it to be, I meet him then and I meet y'all here, right? And so now when he comes out, he's like, y'all could quiet it down because I could hear y'all all the way in the back. Y'all should be getting along. And they say, tell us once and for all, what's the real deal? Did you know they was coming? Did you invite them to come? Did you want them to come from the beginning? Because it seems like you're telling us two different stories and then you're causing a conflict between us because they had told them, come on and follow us to the salon or whatever have you. And at this point, they're all sitting in there having this conversation. Well, it was loud, okay, basically. Nobody wanted to hear what anybody was saying. We were talking at each other, not to each other at this point. So they're telling him, keep it real. And he was like, well, at the end of the day, I did tell them that that's what she wanted. And I respect her wishes. If that's the way she wanted to do it, then yeah, I was going to go ahead and go by that. But I will say that I was happy when I saw y'all. And of course, I want to see my family and I miss my family and stuff like that, right? And so that was pretty much, what I'm saying, that with that. He just is like, can't we all just get along? All right. So now he lets them know, like, well, I'm going to catch up with y'all later because me and my boo thing got to go get it in. All right. Next stop, beep, beep. It's time for us to go have some sex. I'm ready to be with my girl. And they all just start laughing. Now, when they get back to the hotel, Cassandra, rightfully so, is like, yo, I'm real skeptical about leaving my daggone sister here. Okay. I have to make sure that she's going to be okay. You know, she doesn't have any family here. He does. And with the way that they came off, I would not feel all right, you know, having her be here by herself with him. So she pulls her to the side and just lets her know, listen, if you need my help, let me know. If you need me to come through, if you need me to come back, just say the word. You know, my flight is tomorrow at 5 a.m. Are you sure you're going to be okay here? And she's telling her, I got it. I'm with my man now. Don't worry about it, honey. Okay, we are cool in the gang. And she's like, okay, but she's still telling us, like, I don't feel too comfortable with this, all right? And I can't blame her for that. I would probably feel that way too. But when Derek and her get in the room, you know, he asking what was Cassandra talking about, and she telling him, and he's like, oh, this room is nice. And, you know, he like, I can't wait to get into that. Are you ready to get into it with me? And she's basically like, yeah, she's excited too. She's looking forward to it too. But she also is very nervous because he's never seen her naked before. I said, girl, ain't no time to be scared now. Ain't no time to be scared. Go ahead and do what you got to do. You done got this far. But I was looking at that bed, honey, like I would have got a bigger bed, all right? And I'm not even as big as her. And I'm like, that bed is too daggone small, okay? Let's just be real. I'm just saying. So, you know, they hurry up and kick them daggone, you know, we see people out of there so they could go ahead and get it in, all right? That was basically what was going on, you know, with Monique and Derek. So, next, child, we had, I believe it was, Ashley and Travis. All right. Ashley and Travis is living their best lives. He's loving this hotel, you know, that she chose. They saying he having beds. He wants some pizza, honey. He started talking about some type of concoction. I don't know what it was he said, but he said he haven't had no real steak, no real beef, or none of that type of stuff in years, that they throw together some, you know, whatever the heck it is. All right. And it's so disgusting and whatever. So he can't wait to eat some real food. You know, he asking, can the pizza be delivered up to their room? They like, yeah, you know, he get up in the room. He's super excited and happy to be there. And can I just say, number one, Ashley be crying about every damn thing, okay? I know I said that last week. And not only do she be crying every minute, but honey, she be giving me, I've been drinking. Every time I see Ashley look like she done had some damn drinks. I don't know if it's just me, honey, and I don't know if she do, but that's what she give me, all right? And so, you know, she's actually like ready to get it in. Like, we haven't had a chance to have sex yet. I want to see this body, okay? She looking at these tattoos. She's saying she liking what she's seeing. He take her in that bathroom and he like, ooh, yeah, honey, okay, you got an ass on you. You know, of course, previous to that, when they were sitting out on this patio drinking their beers, he did want to know who she left house sitting, who's watching this dog. And of course, finally, she tells the truth about her friend is the one that's, you know what I'm saying, watching them. Well, she didn't even answer, but of course he knew. And she said, you know, she tried to work some other things out, but, you know, he was the one that was available. And basically, don't worry about it because she's going to let him keep the damn key and she's going to change the locks. I said, okay. And she talking about, you know, bye-bye. So I was like, whatever. You know, I know you got to tell him stuff to beat him in the head to make him feel good because it's supposed to be all about y'all now. But we know that when she was back home, she was talking about how, you know, I want you to still keep an eye out just in case because I don't know if I could fully trust Travis. But now she want to say how she likes how he's healthily possessive of her. I said, I never heard that phrase before, right? And supposedly it goes both ways. So she was like, bye-bye, Martin. All right, see you later. So now when they get in the room, you know, they kissing, whatever have you, and they make their way to the bathroom. I said, well, she the only one I seen turn on the shower, okay? So I give her points for that because I never see these people wash their behind after they be coming up out of prison. I'm just saying because even damn, you know, Derek threw himself on that bed and I was thinking like, boy, is that the same clothes you came out of jail with? Like, yeah, you went and shampooed your hair and got it done, but you ain't washed the rest of your damn body, all right? I want to see more people washing. But nonetheless, you know, she do take him in the bathroom and turn the shower water on. And, You know, they going in there to do whatever they gotta do, but then they get a knock at the door. Of course, it's the pizza that they ordered, and he over here taking bites off the pizza, and she like, seriously, are you about to sit here and eat pizza right now? And he like, I just want a quick bite, and then they go ahead and do what they gotta do. So now, as they get ready to go ahead, to go home, he was just saying how, he's not going to have no family there, of course, where this is where she's coming from. He's heard good things about this place. He's looking forward to it from the aspect of it being, a warm place, a place with a pool, a place with a beach. He can't wait to see it. He's also still saying, all right, which I do like this part, but it's easy to say. We got to actually see the actions that goes along with it. How, he want to be able to stand on his own 2 feet, do his own thing. She already has herself established, and he want to get himself established and all of that good stuff. And so then they get to the, her house, and he's like, wait, this is your house? He's fascinated too. When they was driving, I thought that part was funny, because he was like, how I get on the internet. He's like, oh, let me take pictures of you. And she over here, and he taking a picture. I said, girl, look at the damn road, okay? Y'all can take pictures later, but nonetheless, he gets to the house and he is impressed with what he see. And, we actually have Ashley telling us that she done spent up these damn funds, okay? Not only just with sending him money and taking care of him since he been in jail, but furnishing the house. So I said, oh, this is a house that you literally, was living in and it wasn't furnished, or you not too long ago got in his furnace too. I was a little confused with that part, but nonetheless, she's saying she put a lot of money into this to prepare for him. So when he get there, he is liking how it's looking. He's loving the pool. He want to get up in there. She got some daggone blow up float daggone ring, and he taking the big ass ring and saying, that he's giving that to her because he was like, he did propose to her, but the ring still gotta follow. He had proposed to her while he was locked up, and he's saying he don't know whether he gonna be using a condom or not. Okay, he have to get back to them on that, because if this is somebody he's supposed to be spending the rest of his life with, then that's a conversation that they gotta go ahead and have. I said, okay, I hear you. So anyway, moving on from them, we get to Justine and Michael. Now, Justine and Michael done had a good night, honey. They done enjoyed themselves. They done been at this hotel. They supposed to meet up with his kids. She asking him how he feeling. Of course, he's looking forward to it. He's excited. He's talking about how he really didn't get to see his family like that through the years. They're talking about how he didn't see his father but maybe 2 or 3 times during the time that he was locked up. Justine seemed like she's having a little bit of an issue with that. Like, how you in jail for all this time and your family don't come through like that. And he's saying out of sight, out of mind. We're seeing pictures of him and his dad together, and that they were actually close, used to hang out a lot together. People thought they was brothers and all that type of vibe. And so he was like, one thing is, being in jail, prison, or whatever is almost like you are living but dead, right? Like everybody else is still living their life and moving, and you're stuck in that one place, and it's like if you have passed away. So he says, that part was really hard on him, and being able to see them in person and hug them and have, certain conversations with them that he really couldn't have when he was locked up, because when you're locked up, you only get but so much time. And then because you're locked up, you're not going to really be crying and, getting all sentimental or whatever the case may be, because that's not the place where you could really do that. And so this would be a different, type of setting where he can really get more into it with his kids. One child he hadn't seen since, he was 2 years old, and different things of that aspect. And so he was like, he definitely looking forward to it, and it's exciting. And we seeing them with the matching pajamas on. Then we seeing when they get dressed and they leaving from the hotel, they freaking both got their red on. So they one of those couples that want to have, everything matching and all that. And it's cute, I seen some look like it was Nutella on that damn dress. I said, what y'all was doing with that? She over here feeding him pineapples, whatever have you. And so it was all love, seemed to be all happy or whatever. She was saying how, for the most part, she feels like she gets along with his family good, don't have no real issues with them, been friends with his mother. That's how she met him in the first place. But she's going to go ahead and have this conversation with his mama and let him know that she will be, the woman in his life now, right? She will be number one. Some things will be changing in terms of them now being married and him being out with her. And I said, okay, girl. And so when he says, oh, well, this guy, can't even remember what his name was, apparently that has business ties with him for his recording studio, music business or whatever is coming through. She had an issue with that. She was like, this is family time. You could see that person later. And he's like, come on, mom, kisses and hugs don't make money. At the end of the day, this is a friend. This is also somebody that could give me opportunities and that can bring some money to me. Business always is going to be, one of the top priorities. I got to handle my business. And she was like, yeah, well, I got to handle mine too. And, that should not interfere and come in between you spending time with your daggone family and your kids. Your family and your kids should be first. So whereas Justine was saying she ain't gonna have no problem with him getting out here and going to take care of his business and being with his recording studio, we might have some problems there, right? Justine might just have some issues with some of these people that he's going to be interacting with, and just watching and observing how that is going on. And she definitely don't seem like somebody that's going to be holding her tongue about it. So that should be interesting, because I want Michael to win. I really do. I do feel like out of all the couples, they have the strongest relationship. So we'll see how that goes. But that definitely was an issue for her. Now, when they meet up with the family, it was very emotional, him and his father crying and hugging all along. The same sister that was saying that's her best friend was breaking down crying and how she missed him so much. All his kids was hugging him and surrounding him. Beautiful family, mama over here crying, whatever. So then he tells them all, come on, let's sit down. They out here like in this park area. Justine over here video recording and taking pictures of them, hugging and capturing those little moments. And he just was saying that this was a build of emotions. Of course, he's thankful for all of them coming. He missed them all. After all this time that they were separated, he's praying and hoping that, now that he's back, they could get back on track and things could be right. No more crazy days, no more getting into stuff. All of that is behind him, and then here come, the guy walking down, the friend that he invited, I think it was Mocha, and his mother actually seems kind of excited to see him and was laughing like, oh, Mocha, and then they're all looking at him, but Justine's face was like, oh, whatever type of thing, right? She was not here for it at all. Now, moving on from them, last but not least, I guess we would say, right? Because I talked about, I'm trying to make sure, y'all, because I didn't really take notes this time. I think we talked about Monique and Derek. We talked about Justine and Michael. We talked about Ashley and Travis. We talked about Gabby and Chris. And so, yeah, we got Miss Skylar getting out, all right? She's the last one that has to come out. She's not out yet, but she is supposed to be coming out officially. And they, supposed to be going to pick her up. Her mom is excited and happy for her to come out. She's concerned. I could not remember if this was her son or her brother that was was there with her mother when they were going there to pick her up. And then, of course, on his side, he have his two aunts, Miss Trina, I think, and Tara. Now, we had initially met, I think, Trina at the store when he first was doing the shopping, and she was saying to get the Buddha and all of that kind of stuff. She had already been helping him, but we had never met Tara before, right? And apparently Tara has been around longer or seen more of everything that was going on up close and personal with him. So she's not here for this, and she says she not gonna sit here and sugarcoat stuff and make stuff seem like it's okay that it's not. She gonna tell her how it is, and she don't care who daggone feelings that it hurt. Because when Skylar called, he was saying like, me and my aunt got into it, I didn't like certain texts that she was sending to me last night. So now when she drive on up, to the house or whatever, she's basically still saying, I wasn't disrespectful to you. He's saying she was disrespectful to him. He's saying she was disrespectful to her. And, they basically are not going to agree, right? They both feel how they feel. And it's like, why can't you just be happy for me? This is where I'm at now. I'm doing much better. She doing much better. That's not who she is. That's not where we trying to go. Even when they're having a conversation, they mentioned that one time when he came out the halfway house before and they met up, they actually end up getting into something. No, she was in a halfway house, I believe, and he was in jail and he was just coming out. And they had to meet up and it went bad, okay? And she ended up getting back late for curfew or whatever and just caused more problems. So it was like the one good thing about this is that even if they do get into an argument, it wouldn't be the same because she ain't got to worry about having to get, back and be in no curfew, right? And hopefully they would know how to manage it. They would be being more positive and, going on the right track, not looking back and making the same mistakes that they already made from the past. So therefore, this time is going to be different, right? And so in the process of all of this, the whole point was that the two aunts were supposed to be coming over to help finish getting the house ready while he's going to pick her up. And one aunt is like, not even wanting to help at all, right? But my whole thing, Auntie, even though I felt like you kept it real and what you were saying was valid, why would you wait to the last minute to say that? And if that's the case, you could have been said that's how you felt. Not even bothered driving all the way over there to kind of throw dirt on him even more. You could have just been like, I don't want no parts of this. I'm not going to support it. I'm not going to have nothing to do with it, especially since you knew this day was coming up and this was like really nothing new, right? So at this point, he goes in the house and he tells the other aunt, like, she's not coming in. I'm going to go ahead and do what I got to do. And she says, do you want me to go outside and kind of mediate a little bit? And he's like, yeah, sure, if you want to, right? And so basically she ends up going outside to talk to her for a minute and she tells her, like, listen, I've been there. I've seen a lot of the stuff that went down. I watched all of it. I seen what a wreck she was and I also seen what a wreck he was. And, him losing his mother, him losing his father, him going on drugs, him being in jail. And I know that she had 2 boyfriends that died and I don't want him to be the 3rd one. I get it. All of that is valid. All of that is completely understanding for you to have those worries. And if I'm not mistaken, not only did he say that to her, he said that to her mother who has these concerns as well. He was like, of course you're going to have those concerns and worries, right? But we're going to try our best. Whereas the other aunt came out and was talking to her and was like, I hear where you're coming from, but they're going to live their lives and do what they want to do pretty much, right? And as their family, shouldn't we be there for them? And I guess like if they hurt or they fell or whatever, we still there and we give them a chance to see if they can make it or if they fell, right? But I guess the other aunt feels like, nah, I done seen too much and been hurt too much and I don't want to see no more feelings. So at the end of the day, I respect both of their perspectives of where they're coming from. So the one aunt says she gonna go ahead and go. She was like, I'll still keep y'all in my minds, okay? But I'm gonna take my behind on up home. And, Tara is basically saying, well, I'm going to still be here and I'm going to be here, with Nathan. Because he's already under stress. He's already saying it's nerve-wracking. He was like, Tina was supposed to be helping us, but now she talking about she can't and she not going to be a part of it and all that. And Tara is his dad's sister or whatever the case may be. And I think Tina is the mother's sister, but really them two look like they could have been related, right? And of course, her mother passed away when she was a child. And then the Aunt Tina helped to take care of him. So, of course, she helped raise him. And so I get it because she's like a mama aunt. I definitely get it. But she decides to leave and, Tara decides to stay. And she's going to go ahead and do this work while Nathan is going to pick up, Skylar. So now when he gets there, because she ends up calling him and telling him, well, now they're dropping me off at this parking lot. And he's like, okay, cool. Well, I'm going to find it. I know where that's at. And her mom is there. And like I said, I wasn't quite sure if that was supposed to be her brother, or I think it was, or her son. But nonetheless, they're there. They're telling him like they had concerns too. They have worries too. They like him so far. You know, they feel like he's trying to be on the right track and trying to be supportive. They're happy of that. But they also feel like she could end up falling back down. He could end up falling back down. She's not happy of them staying in the area where all this stuff already went down before. Again, all valid things. And he was also saying that is valid, right? And he also was like, y'all not gonna laugh if I start crying when she pull up. And they was like, no, we probably gonna cry too, you know. And he also brung up the fact that he would like to marry her. Like, you know, if I propose to her, how would y'all feel about that? I really would like your blessing. And the younger boy was basically like, well, I think it's her brother. Y'all correct me in the comments. You know, I don't know all about that. Until you got the ring on you now, you know, he wanted to see what he was working with. But he was like, no, I don't have the ring on me now. And was saying that he would probably want to do it in a couple of weeks. And of course, we saw the ring that he done saved up for and the rose and everything. It did look beautiful. And he said he been practicing, you know, what he want to say and how he want to do it because he wants it to be special. And of course, in his mind, he feels like they gonna last and it's gonna work all out. But honey, we've been seeing these previews, so we know it's gonna be some stuff in the mix. But you know, we will continue to watch and see where all this stuff gonna go, honey. And even next week, it looked like, you know, Michael mama might be popping off on Justine. I don't know exactly what the heck the reason is. And of course, when Skylar car is pulling up, we don't see her. You know, more than likely they ain't gonna show her till next week. We just see one damn leg. They take it all slow, of course, in slow motion. And they like, is this her that's coming? You know, oh, I think I see her, whatever, right? And the windows is all tinted and all of that different kind of stuff. And so we don't actually see her get out the car. But, you know, pretty much her family is very concerned, very worried as well. Both of them have put their families through a whole bunch of stuff. That's what it boils down to. So that was the episode, y'all. Tell me what y'all think about what y'all think about these couples, honey. You know, have your perspectives changed on anybody? Are you just like, nope, all of them are crazy? Do you feel the same? Do you feel different? All that good stuff. Let's discuss anything I forgot. Put it in the comments. We will discuss it there. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you are so inclined. Give me a wave. Let me know you came by. Put some flames up in the sky. All right, y'all. Till next time. Toodaloo.